Hello there guys, and welcome to another video. In this one, we're going to be looking at a new piece of tech that I just got yesterday. Didn't think to film a video on it yesterday because I was feeling a bit under the weather, but today I'm feeling a bit better, so let's get on with it. And what you see in front of you is a big hint as to what it actually is. This is a Dell power brick here. Self-declaration, whatever. Tiny little power brick, actually. Much smaller than my MacBooks by a long shot. And still uses the same Mickey Mouse style power thing. So you got the two-prong bit here, but I prefer this because you've got grounding. And grounding is always nice to have. Especially on metal laptops like the MacBook Pro, where if you're in a poorly grounded house, you're going to feel that. But also nice is that Dell includes this little adapter cable. And what that does is because, if I can find one here, because the mainstay to Dell's laptop line was these power adapters. They've since changed them to something a little more modern looking, but they all use this kind of big barrel connector. And what this does is it actually converts that down into the smaller barrel connector, which is nice. Something Apple probably should have included in the box of the new MacBook Pros, since those things cost damn near $100. But let's get on to the main attraction here. Now, these usually come in a bigger Dell box. I have since discarded it because I've already opened this. But I want to put it back in the box, kind of show it off a little bit here. But as you will soon see, it's a bit dirty on the top side, but I've also torn it open and such. This is an XPS 13. I'm going to go ahead and tip the box over. Kind of like Dell's packaging. You get your manuals telling you things. That's just like whatever. Don't need that stuff. But anyway, the XPS 13, you might be thinking, well, why do I have one of these? Actually, I didn't really intend on getting this. So the story goes, if you think back all the way to 2015 when I got my Dell Precision M4700, I bought that off one of my friends, who I just call VDR. A lot of people call him that who know him. But God, I forget what his YouTube name is because it's been so long. But he allowed me to buy it for payments, which was very nice of him because I can usually buy things in payments very easily, but when I have to come up with like a few $100s at once, that's when things get dicey, such as the perils of living on the income I have. Anyway, that's beside the point. Basically, I was kind of interested in this because he upgraded to a MacBook Pro, a 2017, I believe, and he was going to sell this off, and I said I might be interested because, yeah, I mean, it's a nice machine, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if I would actually use one. So I said, yeah, I might be interested, let me know how it goes with selling it. And it turns out, well, he tried to sell it on his own, couldn't get much out of it, because nobody wanted to pay, like, people wanted to pay, like, really cheap prices for this. So he came back to me and said, I will give it to you for this amount of money. And at the time, that's when I had the Galaxy S8. I got the S8 back because my roommate ended up she decided she didn't want to buy it from me, so she gave it back to me, and suddenly I have an S8, and now I have a Note 8. So it's like, what am I going to do with an S8 now? Because really, it's redundant. So the plan was hatched that I would sell the S8, which I already have, and buy this from him, which ended up happening, and here it is. So now I have this very tiny Dell laptop. Here's my Note 8 sitting on top of it. You can see lengthwise it almost bridges the entire thing. But the other reason I also bought this was because I actually cut a deal with my friend Alan, who is known as Tech Fluidity here on YouTube, and some time ago I sold him my iPad mini for a Latitude E7240 to buy one off eBay. Well, we bought one, and as you might remember a few months ago, because I actually took a video of it, the box arrived crudely cut open from the bottom, and somebody had nicked my laptop in transit. Thankfully, I got the money back from that, and that's what went into the iPhone SE that I bought not long after on Black Friday. But yeah, ever since then, I've been kind of having a hankering for a smaller laptop, because, I mean, we can grab my MacBook Pro, my 15-inch MacBook Pro, and this thing is, like, much heavier. Actually, it's not actually much heavier. This thing's got some heft to it. But you can kind of see why I wanted a smaller laptop to kind of just take with me places. Because the MacBook Pro is a very nice laptop, but good God, it's pretty hefty. So, let's go ahead and put that away. And let's actually talk about the XPS 13 some more. So, let's go ahead and open her up. This is what I hate about most laptops these days. They're really top heavy. So you go to open the lid and you just take the whole thing up with you. It's really annoying. But here we go. We are sitting at Windows 8.1 because this had Windows 10 on it, but only Windows 10 Home. And I wasn't exactly cool with that. I wanted Windows 10 Pro, but unfortunately the way Microsoft's licensing works, it would not let me use my Pro key to activate it. So I decided, well, I'm going to try and downgrade to Windows 7, because my Windows 7 key is actually provisioned for 10. But 7 won't run on this thing without some heavy modifications to the install image. And I really don't feel like messing with that, so I just settled on 8.1 because I had a spare 8.1 Pro key kicking around. So, here we are, 8.1. I'm totally okay with this. And before we go any further, you'll see this model is mostly optioned out. As you can see, I have the touchscreen. I'm going to go ahead and enter my password. And I was watching this video, so let's go ahead and minimize that. Well, not minimize it, but get it off full screen. So, this is really what I plan to use it for. It's kind of my lounge around laptop. To just use it kind of when I don't want to bring the full girth of my MacBook Pro out. And just use that. And as you can see, I've got the touchscreen. It's kind of nice. I mean, I don't mind it. I don't use it all the time, but I mean, I guess it's alright. But if we go into hardware monitor here, you can see this thing was in fact quite optioned out. Go ahead and zoom you guys in there. It's got the i7 in it, which unfortunately I don't think a quad i7 was ever offered in this machine, so unfortunately only dual core with hyper-threading, but hey, what can you say, right? It's got the integrated graphics, not bad for what this machine is supposed to be. And I mean, we've got a 256 gigabyte SSD. Not bad. It's pretty good little machine. Let's not zoom in. And I mean, again, for the limited use I plan to really use it for, it's going to be a great little machine. Actually, let's go ahead and reopen that one more time. And the battery is kind of weird here, because it says it's 20% worn out. But when it's fully charged, it says it's 120% charged. So I'm not sure who to believe on that one. Thankfully, this machine comes apart relatively easily, because I've already pulled it apart once, because it was overheating quite a bit. And to kind of show off here, you can kind of see in there, those are thermal pads meant to kind of bind the heat pipe to the back plate. That's not factory, that's actually a mod that a lot of XPS 13 owners swear by, and I'm going to stick with it. It was actually done by VDR, not me, before I even got it. He actually had pads all over the bottom, not like in places that weren't even necessary, but it helps dissipate the heat a bit more because the bottom is all metal. Actually, the bottom, I believe the bottom and the top metal parts are what give this laptop its rigidity, because the plastic is quite flexible, and the hinge actually drills into the plastic palm rest. So when I had the bottom cover off and I was testing it, I noticed the plastic would actually flex when I would, you know, articulate the hinge a bit. So it does get its structural integrity from the metal parts. But yeah, it's been opened. I repasted it with Arctic Silver 5, what little I had left, because I'm almost out. And it seems to be running a lot better now, thankfully. It does usually idle around 120 degrees Fahrenheit, and I know that people are going to jump on me for not using Celsius, but I don't give a fuck either way. It mostly hovers around there, sometimes around the high 90s if I really am lucky. But, I mean, short of that, it's been a pretty good machine to me. The touchpad's a bit on the awful side too, but whatever, what can you say? But, yeah, I mean, this is pretty much going to be the small little itty-bitty laptop that I'm going to be using for a while. And as you can see, more ports than a 2017 MacBook, that's for sure. And hey, a battery indicator checker, wouldn't you know it? Something that Apple doesn't do anymore, much to my chagrin. Anyway, to keep a long video at least a little bit shorter, I'm going to cut it there. Don't really have much to say. Just like, hey, I got this. Whoop-de-doo. Anyway, till next time, I'll see you guys later.